Welcome to my channel. Today we will talk about why men have mistresses. Usually there are two answers to this question, because men are polygamous and because his wife or steady partner is no longer happy with him. Actually, both answers are correct, but not quite. It's not men who are polygamous, it's people in general. Both men and women. But what's wrong with the second point? Why do men cheat on their wives? The psychology of the cheating man: they cheat because they can. That's a comprehensive answer to the question why? Because it is not difficult to find a woman who will agree to share his bed. Because sometimes it is not even necessary to look for her, she finds herself. Because society in general does not condemn this, for some reason it is believed that men need sex more than women, and therefore there is nothing shameful about seeking this sex on the side. But why? Why would a man need another woman? Housewife in a greasy robe. And then he doesn't want a wife or a steady partner anymore. And it seems to be clear to everyone why the man cheated. The implication is that the responsibility for a man's infidelity in this case falls on the woman. She's the one who stopped taking care of herself. She is the one who got fat. She walks around the house in a stretchy t-shirt, and it's good if she's not wearing a greasy bathrobe. She's the one who doesn't look like the sexy little kitty she used to look before she got married. In short, her own fault. Let him forgive her and let him quietly rejoice that he did not leave at all. Why do men cheat? That's not really the problem, otherwise no one would ever cheat on well-groomed beauties. It's not about how a woman looks, it's about who she becomes after marriage. Wife and mistress are two big differences. We all have certain social roles, and we try to conform to them. The problem is that the role of a wife and the role of a mistress have almost nothing in common. If you ask a man how he sees his ideal mistress, he will draw roughly the following female portrait: easygoing character, uninhibited sexual behavior and sex appeal, without that he can't take off, but he can't. If you ask him to describe his ideal wife, it turns out that he needs a woman who is faithful, economical, and caring. If we develop the topic further, there is still not a single match. Before a couple decides to tie the knot of marriage, the woman embodies all the qualities of a mistress. So why does she turn into a pumpkin after the honeymoon? Whose fault is it? Naturally, it is not the woman's fault. It is society's fault, which imposes a certain role on her. As a result, a woman who gets married finds herself in a stalemate situation. On the one hand, she needs to meet the expectations of men and society, to settle down, to become a good wife. Because the next step is the woman mother, who, when she hears the phrase, "on the kitchen table," imagines rolling out dough, not boisterous sex. On the other hand, the couple's need for sex does not disappear. Both the man and the woman still want not just to dull marital duty, but to be aroused and aroused. But how, if the role imposed from the outside does not imply sexy behavior? If the role of a wife implies the role of a sedate matron, with all the borscht, ficus, and, in the long run, babies? Naturally, all this in no way removes the guilt from the man who has already cheated on his partner. But what if it has not happened yet, but you feel that sooner or later it may happen? What to do? Obviously, the problem is easier to prevent than to solve. It is important to understand that there is no need to become the perfect wife, the one who is the cook in the kitchen, the lady in the living room, and the hetera in the bed. This, as we have already found out, is impossible. A split personality has never saved anyone. The problem is solved differently. It is important to understand that the change of status does not oblige you to anything. There is no need to turn into a machine for the production of borscht, iron shirts, and maternal care for a man. The sooner you forget the phrase, "a woman must," the easier it will be to avoid turning from just a woman into a woman wife, who is so unsexy that it won't be long before a woman lover appears. And here's another thing, it doesn't mean that only you should care. It means that the new husband can iron the shirts himself, and borscht, by the way, can also boil. While you will choose your new, incredibly sexy, of course, underwear.